As Alexander continues down the path, he gets the strange feeling that he's being watched.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you any. He's just there to scare you.
Alexander picks up the brick.
Gotcha this time! Tickets up! Next!
That move was slightly erroneous.
You aren't gonna listen to me, are you? Well, we'll just see about that.
That's odd. The gardener just disappeared. There's an odd little creature dangling from that tree branch.
Hello, friend. Aren't you an odd-looking little fellow?
I'm not odd-looking, you are!
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you could speak.
Speak not? Funny is, speech I am and nothing but.
Alexander holds the sentence out to the creature.
This sentence seems in need of an ending. Perhaps you could finish it?
Where are you going? Where are you going? Know what I do? Where are you going to? Like you I do. Go I with you?
Well, that was certainly interesting. It looks like Alexander now has a passenger. Alexander feels a strain.
Do you have anything interesting yet?
A regular abnormality?
Let me see what I have. I found this little fellow lost on another island.
Coming home I am too.
There you are, you naughty boy. I told you not to leave the island.
Glad I am seeing you too.
A most solemn celebration.
So, you found my dangling participle. I suppose I'll have to give you something. Let's see now. Was it a rare book you wanted?
Yes, sir.
Well, then none of these will do. They've been sitting in the sun far too long and must be well cooked by now. This one is far more rare. A delicious little tidbit.
Thanks.
Alexander opens the rare book and looks inside. The book contains riddles and has a page missing. Alexander glances at a few of the conundrums, but finds himself more curious about the one that is missing. What was the riddle, he wonders? More importantly, what was the answer? Alexander The spider who lives there is not amused. Alexander feels the tiny pinprick of the spider's bite and the slow burning of her poison.
Tickets up. Next.
Why do you think they call her a widow?
Wow. Hiya, gorgeous. Oh, what a luscious-looking hunk of flesh you are.
Thank you, I guess. Who are you?
How charming of you to pretend not to know. I'm Black Widow, of course. The femme fatale of all femme fatales. Know what I mean? You know, I was just thinking it was time I found my 50th, another husband. It would be quite a an honor to have me as a bride. Just look at my beautiful weaving. It's so light, so delicate. You'll never want to leave my little nest.
It is a lovely web, but my heart is elsewhere, I'm afraid.
Oh, drat! The loss is yours. I'm sure you'll change your mind once you consider the advantages.
A black widow is sitting in her web. She has long legs and an hourglass on her belly. She gives Alexander a knowing look. A thread is hanging from the otherwise tightly woven web.
Hey, don't touch that thread!
Alexander snatches the scrap of parchment, curious to see what's written on it. The wind blows the scrap of paper from Alexander's hand, but he remembers what it said well enough. There's no Alex. Alexander feels a nightingale perches on a high branch of the tree. She sings the most beautiful song Alexander has ever heard. Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and places it on the ground. The mechanical nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently. The nightingale flies to a lower branch and looks at Alexander curiously, as if she were deciding that this human might not be so bad. Alexander doesn't remember that sign being on the wall before. He decides to take a closer look. It's a proclamation. It reads, "Citizens rejoice, announcing the royal wedding and coronation of Wazir Abdul al-Hazred and Princess Kasima. For reasons of security, the wedding will not be open to the public. Long live the new king and queen of the land of the Green Isles." Alexander feels his stomach turn at the thought of the dread event. If he doesn't do something soon, Kasima will be another man's wife.
Your candy dish is empty.
I am sorry, sir, but I have no more mints. Somebody has eaten them all.
Well, get some more then.
I fear that is impossible. Without the fairy, I can no longer get imports from the other island, and we do not grow mint extract on the Isle of the Crown.
Oh, I hate not getting what I want.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
The flute is only made of plain wood, but its notes are fine and true.
I'll take the flute.
The flute? Very good, Prince Alex. May its music always be sweet. Feel free to trade it back at any time.
Thank you. I found this large pearl. Might it be valuable enough to ransom back my family ring?
I have never seen such a perfect pearl. Certainly you can have your ring back.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't sell it. I'm a bit attached to it, I'm afraid.
Of course you are. You would be cold-hearted if you felt any differently. I am happy to see a family heirloom back with its rightful owner.
Jallo, how fare you? And what news have you from the castle?
Prince Alex, how I fare is close to boiling. Have you seen the wedding proclamations around the village? I've heard rumors of the wedding, of course, but I didn't want to believe it, and I never thought it would be so soon.
Kasima. Married. Oh, it is an unpleasant thing to swallow, friend. If only I knew Kasima wished it. Tell me about the Wazir, Jallo.
The Wazir? Now there's a dangerous subject. His name is Abdul al-Hazred. He came to the kingdom 15 years ago. The king was fascinated by his knowledge and his fine-sounding ideas. It didn't take long for al-Hazred to convince the king to trust him with the minor problems of daily government. You see, Caliph had a wife and a new daughter he wanted to spend time with. Al-Hazred became Wazir.
And now?
Well, he's had his eye on Kasima ever since she was a young girl. And she is the only thing between him and the throne.
Do you think he means to harm her?
Oh, I honestly don't know. I think he'd rather keep her as wife. But whatever his plans for the princess, he will use her to his best advantage. That's his way.
Perhaps he has charmed her. Perhaps she cares for him now.
The Wazir is capable of anything, and Kasima must be vulnerable and lonely right now. Still, she has always instinctively distrusted him. Kasima has a good head on her shoulders. I'd be surprised if she's truly fallen for his words of love. I must return to the castle, Prince Alex, and you to your wanderings. May we both fare well.
There's no reason.
I found this rare book, and I thought of your offer.
Very interesting. Oh, it is a wonderful riddle book. Riddles are much more marketable than spells these days. I guess people believe more in mirth than in magic. Here is the spell book you wanted, and a fair trade it is, I must say. Enjoy it.
I certainly hope so. We shall see how rusty my spellcasting truly is.
This is the... Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the Nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the Nightingale that Jalo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Cosima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cosima to his presence on the Isles. The Nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima.
Sing Sing, what have you got in your mouth, my pretty? A gold ring? Sing Sing, where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul, he must be here. Sing Sing, I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here then, on this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
The little bird makes a delivery. The Nightingale has... It's a red velvet hair ribbon. Could it be? Could it possibly belong to Cosima herself?
Or am I merely wishing it were so? Oh.
Alexander examines the red ribbon and finds a strand of long black hair. Alexander. Clinging vines climb the garden wall. Alexander...
Come closer! We like you!
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm really not interested.
Don't leave us! We like you!
Tickets up. Next.
Just want to be loved by you. Alexander takes the teacup. The little china teacup is made of fine porcelain. The teacup is empty. Alexander takes a close look at the tomato on the ground. It appears to be darker than those on the vines.
What are you staring at there, boy? Go away, you rootless thing, you! Yeah!
Yep, that tomato is definitely rotten.
Hey! What do you think you're doing there? Get your hands off me! Hey!
Alexander picks up rotten tomato and puts him away. One never knows when one will need a rotten tomato. Alexander is standing. A colorful... Alexander... Those grapes... Clinging Alexander... A colorful array of snapdragons. Alexander... The wallflowers look terribly shy. There appears to be a hole in the garden wall. Through the hole in the wall, Alexander sees a land that resembles a giant chessboard. Wow, it really is a hole in the wall. Zounds, those wallflowers sure are shy, and the snapdragons are awfully protective of them. Alexander can't even get close to the wallflowers without causing quite a stir. Alexander decides to pick up the hole in the wall. A hole in the wall could be a very useful thing. Alexander startled the poor thing. It's run off to hide behind the wallflowers.
May I have this dance?
Oh, my!
Alexander stops playing the flute, but the wallflowers and snapdragons continue to dance, caught up in the music and oblivious to everything around them. While the wallflowers dance, Alexander snatches the hole in the wall.
Checkmate! Only chess pieces allowed in chessboard land? That's right. Humans aren't allowed in and never will be. Stay out!
I must insist, Your Highness. I shall send the lump of coal to the Vizier and the Princess as a present for their wedding, and that's the end of it.
And I suppose you'll leave me with only this stupid spoiled egg to send, Your Highness. I want to impress the new king and queen of the realm as much as you do. As queen of this island, I have every right to that lump of coal.
Who isn't queen of this isle?
The lump of coal is in my possession. Therefore I shall do as I please with it. Besides, there's nothing wrong with that spoiled egg.
The egg, though delightfully spoiled, is not nearly so valuable as the lump of coal, and you know it. Your Highness always got to carry the singing stone. It's not fair that you get the coal too.
That doesn't count. The singing stone was stolen by that horrid beast. I should get to keep the coal just because my stone was stolen.
It wasn't your stone. It belonged to the Isle of Wonder treasury. Your Highness always thinks that everything is hers.
Excuse me, my good man, but could you settle an argument for us?
Which of us should get to carry the coal and which the egg? Remember, white is the color of deserving truth and virtue.
Quiet, your Highness, and let him make up his own mind. I, for one, shall be more proper, and not even mention the fact that red is the color of love.
I'm sorry, Your Majesties. I'm partial to both red and white, but I'm afraid that I don't know how to solve your problem. One of you will just have to be gracious and allow the other the lump of coal.
What a ridiculously stupid idea!
Quite ludicrous.
He was a lot of help, wasn't he?
Oh, yes. Obviously a man of high intelligence. The lump of coal goes much better with my gown anyway. Black and red are imperial colors.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard. Red does not go with anything, being much too self-conscious. White is the perfect accompaniment to any color.
The Red Queen has dropped her scarf on the steps. Alexander picks up the Red Queen's scarf. A cluster of cattails flourishes near the muck of the swamp. The mucky swamp is... Alexander decides to pet the soft-looking cattails. Zounds, what a racket! So much for stirring up those cattails. Why would Alexander want to throw that at the stick in the swamp? Why would
think you're doing?
You startled me. I was just getting some swamp ooze.
Well, you certainly won't get it there! That's not swamp ooze! That's swamp slime!
He's right, you know. But he could be a little nicer about telling you. He's not a very pleasant stick in the mud.
Nobody asked you! Be quiet!
Oh, the trials of being a mere bump on a log.
Perhaps I can help you out by throwing a rotten tomato at Stick in the Mud for you.
Really? I appreciate the gesture, but the swamp is broader than it looks. Only a native like myself would be able to hit him from here.
Alexander decides to throw Rotten Tomato at Stick in the Mud himself.
Help! Help! I'm melting!
Uh-oh.
Gee, great arm you got there.
Yeah, great arm. You said it, Stick.
Gee, Bump, did we just agree on something?
Why, you're right, Stick. We did.
Gee! You know, he's even more worthless than you are, Bump. I'm sorry I'm so mean to you sometimes.
You mean it, brother?
Brother.
Stick in the Mud and Bump on a Log, having reconciled at Alexander's expense, fall into a lazy sleep. Unfortunately, Alexander never did get his ooze.
I thought this might come in handy the next time your brother starts picking on you.
Aha! Finally, old Bump on the Log's not so defenseless, is he?
Hey! Hey! What are you doing there? Watch the pump, would you?
Now, Bumpy, remember all I've given you! The only thing you've ever given me is mud. Take this!
No! Not into the swamp!
Hey, okay, I give up. Jeez, sorry.
Well, I guess it's not very pleasant having things thrown at you. I'm sorry.
You mean it? Really? Brother?
Brother!
Stick in the Mud and Bump on a Log, exhausted from the battle, immediately doze off into naps. Rotten Tomato, being equally lazy, decides to join them. The Isle of Wonder Swamp oozes with muck. A glob of swamp ooze tossed during the brotherly fight has landed on the log. Alexander fills the teacup with the swamp ooze. Alexander 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 has... There's no reason. Alexander holds out the love poem, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cosima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem, and takes it towards the castle.
Sing, sing, my sweet, you bring another present. Let me see. It is a poem, Sing Sing.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight, I cannot live without the sight of you.
Oh, Alexander. I was hoping he'd return to you. Take this to him while he waits. Hurry, my fleet one.
The little bird makes a delivery. The nightingale has dropped a bit of paper on the ground. It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend. Please, please be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to me. You must not be endangered again for my sake. Greatly in your family's debt, Cosima.
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only as a brother?
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
Have you an interest in tinder boxes? This one is only slightly battered. It holds a good supply of flint, a sturdy striking pad, and even a candle in case you find yourself with naught else to hold the flame.
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Taking off your adventurer's cap.